Not in the Bible, part 4. Okay, this one's a little bit of a tricky one. Follow your heart. Listen to your dreams. Listen to your heart. And not talking about the organ that pumps blood, but that center of our emotion, our decision making, our core, where we have our emotions come from, that point us in a certain direction. After all, that's what emotions do. Emotions are a call to action. Okay, when we feel angry, okay, it's a motivation to right a wrong that has been done, some injustice. The emotion that comes from our heart, love, okay, is not a bad thing, but it pushes us in the direction of doing good to someone else. Guilt, when we have guilt in our heart, that emotion can point us toward being reconciled, repenting, and so forth. So the human heart is not necessarily, it's not a bad thing that we have one. Emotions are not necessarily a bad thing. But the Bible tells us that actually our heart is desperately wicked and it's sick. Who can know it? This is from Jeremiah 17:9. So how are we to understand that? I mean, how are we to know which way to go if we have these emotions calling us to action that are maybe calling us in the wrong direction? Okay, emotions that have been corrupted by the fall, by our sin nature. Well, the Bible has a lot to say about it, fortunately for us, so that we can know how to move forward. Okay, so if our heart is desperately sick and can't be trusted, so why does the Bible say things like, for example, Psalm 37 verse 4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Or Psalm 20, I believe it's Psalm 20 verse 4, "May he, the Lord, give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed." So if our heart is sick and can't be trusted, and yet the Bible says that God will give us the desire of our heart. So how are we to navigate that? Well, I think what it's actually saying is that God will, when we delight ourselves in him, okay, when we focus on his word, when we look at his son Jesus, we can have our desires, get this, modified, changed, replaced, and God puts his desires in our heart so that we can follow them. Does that make sense? And so it's the reason why Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 26 reads like this. God says, "I will give you a new heart," right? A new heart. I'll put my new spirit in you, right? So because our heart is corrupted by the fall, what we desperately need is a new heart. Makes a lot of sense why Jesus in chapter 3 told Nicodemus, he said, "You must be," what did he say? "Born again," right? We're born again, that God gives us a new heart, a new spirit. He puts his spirit in us. So follow your heart. Well, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. New desires, new bend, new direction, new purpose. Follow the Lord.